Alright, welcome back everybody. So, I was beating myself up for a few days, a couple weeks actually, on how I wanted to make this video. And I think I know how I want to do it now. I want to take basically a roundup of the powerhouse moves that Microsoft and Sony have been making these past couple of weeks. Since my last video. My last video I talked about the basically pre-order debacle that's going on right now and all of that. And, okay, so this is the way I see everything that's happening. So basically, PowerPoint this point. Like I'm basically gonna. I'm not big on the console war thing, but I'm basically going to score both sides of the spectrum when it comes to Microsoft and Sony. So let's take a look at it this way. Sony came out swinging with the exclusives this year. Sony did a real big thing with those exclusives, and then hinting at that God of War, was a real big power move on their part. Now, the whole Spider-Man debacle with the whole, uh, not the backwards compatibility or something, I guess you have to pay. I mean, don't quote me on this, but something about paying. I'm not a Sony person, I'm Microsoft, but I mean, I play on all three, like I've said before. But I mean, that's a good move on Sony's part. Another good move on Sony's part was the whole basically not taking what Microsoft did in the price point and basically folding their price point. It was a good market move. It shows that they're not scared of Microsoft. It shows that, even though Microsoft, okay, all that hype was built up for, the Xbox One S and the Xbox Series S and X. But now let's go over and look at Microsoft and their powerhouse moves that they've been making. I mean, they went up from 17 studios to 23 studios as they grabbed ZeniMax and um, some of these other Bethesda sister companies. Now they've got Doom Eternal on the Game Pass. They have Fallout 70. Like, I'm looking at my Game Pass right now and just some Bethesda titles. I mean, we got Fallout 76. We got Doom Eternal. We have some really heavy hitters. And Microsoft knew what they were doing with that. They knew. They knew. Like, no, I mean, nobody can tell me that Bethesda didn't have or Microsoft didn't have this plan. Like this is like everybody wants to talk about. Oh, Sony got this year. Sony got this year. Sony got this year. I mean, I'm like I said, I'm not a big console war person, but I don't think Sony got this year. I mean, Microsoft, they're not really focused right away on their major console exclusives, and it shows due to the simple fact of we have, four major launches coming this holiday season. So why would Microsoft want to bring out their biggest hitters around, AAA season? Because we got the new Call of Duty. The zombies looks phenomenal. The multiplayer looks phenomenal. I can't wait. Here in about 4 or 5 days, we'll be playing the beta for Call of Duty, and I'm looking forward to trying out that multiplayer beta. I'm looking forward to playing uh, the everything else. But I mean, look at these games that Bethesda has sitting on, Game Pass. They've got Fallout New Vegas, which is a Bethesda title. I mean, it wasn't made by Bethesda, or maybe it was. Don't quote me on that. But it has Bethesda's tag on it. Look at, it's just. I'd have to go through here. Probably should have been more prepared for a video like this, but I don't like to prep my videos ahead of time. I don't like to sound like a fanboy when it comes to any side of the console. But I mean, just imagine how big of a hit Sony's going to take when they want Bethesda or they want ZeniMax or they want Obsidian to come through and make a title for their console. I mean, look at what's going to happen now. They're going to have a big Microsoft logo across. When you jump on. I mean, Microsoft did that with what's that Minecraft Dungeons, which was a really good move on, Microsoft's part. And I'm just sitting here looking at some of the titles that we have, sitting in Game Pass. I mean, you got games like the Rare Replay, where it's bringing back some of those classics, I mean, you have Sea of Thieves. Did it have a great launch? No, but it does have a really good cult following. You've got games like Stellaris, which is a amazing, board style strategy game. Yeah, Streets of Rage 4. You've got, games like Subnautica, which is probably one of the biggest games on YouTube. It had one of the biggest followings on YouTube for a while. One of, I'm not saying the biggest. You have games like Terraria, games like Undermine. I mean, I watch a YouTuber, his name's Dangerously Funny. Amazing channel. I have nothing bad to say about him. Go check him out. I mean, Undermine is an amazing rogue style game. And I don't know. I like that style of game. And there's just titles on here that, PlayStation has their PlayStation Now, but it doesn't really compete with PlayStation Plus. And this is coming from somebody like me who's owned both PlayStation Now and PlayStation Game Pass, Xbox's Game Pass. I've owned it on PC, I've owned it on console, I've owned PlayStation Now on their console. And I mean, their library for the PlayStation Now just doesn't match up to Game Pass. Xbox knows this, and they're leaning on that this generation. When you've got your major third party titles coming to Game Pass, when you got I shouldn't say third party. When you got major third party, but your company's major first party titles. Like your company's AAA titles, like Forza Horizon 4, what I don't know what Forza we're on. Grounded looks amazing. I've started to get into Halo, and I've never been a big Halo fan. There's really no combating that. And the fact that now Microsoft has, Steve over in Super Smash Brothers, which, I mean, come on now, Microsoft knew what they were doing there. Microsoft has those rights to Steve. Microsoft has those rights to Minecraft. And, they're dibbling in the pockets of, they're dibbling into Nintendo's pockets, being like, yo, look at what we got, though. We got, like, one of the world's best-selling games in the world. Sold more copies than Skyrim. And Skyrim's a dope game. I told you. I mean, they've got more, Microsoft knows what they're doing. And they're going to be a powerhouse when it comes to releasing titles this year. Not this year. We'll say 2021, 2022. They'll be a powerhouse. Once Cyberpunk has lost its flair, once the new Call of Duty has lost its flair, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and just the games like that, once they've lost their flair, then we will personally see Microsoft start pumping out these first-party titles, these AAA titles, these indie titles that'll change the way people look at Microsoft. People are already looking at Microsoft now after a $7 billion deal with Bethesda. The $7 billion, like, come on now. That's enough money for me. Like, say you approach me with a deal of like $100,000. You can approach me with 100Ks, 100 Gs, and just sit and be like, yo, I want you to, play my game and then make a video on it. I'd do it. Like, 100 G's, the $7 billion, like, just to be, release content on my platform. Like, yes, Microsoft, come at me, bro. Like, let's talk. Let's get down. Oh, that lens flare, so bad. But I mean, it's just crazy. Like, it's crazy to think that we're in an era of gaming where, it's a battle between PlayStation and Xbox. Nintendo, they stay in their own lane. They ain't worried about this whole console war. They ain't worried about all that. Nintendo knows they got fans and they won't lose them. I mean, PC knows that they got fans that they won't lose them. So right now, it's only a battle between Microsoft and Sony. And like I said, like I've said before, and I'll say it again, I'm not a big console war fan because I love all consoles equally. But I mean, this is going to be a good year for people who do care about that console war thing. I mean, I've been looking at the debates on YouTube, Twitter. I've been, I work for GameStop, so I've been in talks with people, customers that have come in, talking to my bosses about it and stuff like that. I mean, it's going to be a good year. It'll be a good year for gaming. Like, this is the year of gaming. Whenever a new console comes out, it's the year of gaming. And we are in that. We are in that now. This will be the year that even people who are non-gamers will take a look at gamers and be like, yo, they got some serious shit going on. Like, I mean, we live in a day and age now where gaming is all you really got. Like, I mean, you got friends and everything. You want to stay connected to them. Sometimes, talking on the phone may not be the most fun. So what do you turn to? You turn to the next best thing, and that's gaming. And I mean, it's just when it comes to people like me, gaming is the majority of what I do. So, I mean, we just got to take a step back and just remember at the end of the day, the games are for us. They're making this stuff for us. So no matter whether you're Microsoft, you're a big Xbox fanboy, whether you're a PlayStation fanboy, PC fanboy, Nintendo fanboy, you just remember at the end of the day, the game was made for you. If the game fits your personality, that game was made for you. That game, if you have fun with that game was made for you. Like, I'm a big Bethesda fan. I've played all the Elder Scrolls. I have played all the Fallouts. I have played the mass majority of what Bethesda has put out there. And yes, I've delved into Fallout 76 and put hours into that game. And I would do it again. I would go back and I would do it again. The friendships that I've made through Bethesda games, the friendships that I've made through a lot of these games, ZeniMax's games, just talking about them, being a part of communities. Same with Bungie. If there's talks of Microsoft picking up Bungie, it's rumors, and I can't say there's talks. It's rumored. But if that's the case, kudos. The friends that I've made through, Destiny 2, Destiny 1, just like the friendships that I'll probably build this fall with the new expansion. I want to see Bungie succeed. I want to see them get to a point to where they're like Call of Duty, where you can cross-platform play and cross-generation play. Where, like people like Asdacross and MTaxed and all of them could, help PC players and console players alike. Because, I mean, the new consoles are supposed to be, frame rated up and everything, so let's see it. Yeah. But, that's all I wanted to talk about today, so you know who it is. It's your boy. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you want to talk about, what you want me to talk about. Like I always say, without y'all, I ain't here. It's your boy from the Lion's Den. Peace.